Hi there, it's me again, albeit me with a new hat. You like this? I'm sure that my son will tell you what the hat is all about, but I know it's a gamer's hat, and I just don't know which game. In any in any case, it's the hat of the day. Um, Rough night last night, didn't get much sleep. Um, Itching, something new, something different. Itching is enough to drive you nuts. Um, Starting to bother me last night, and it got worse and worse. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about is something that's uplifting, something that's that's critically important, especially if you're in a situation like I am. And it's important for everyone to realize that when I say I don't mean I, me. When I say I mean me, Leslie, Dana, and Craig, and Sadie, and Oliver, and Ryan, and Stephanie, and Audra. And because when the doctor turns around and looks at you across his desk and says, you have, bone marrow cancer or any other of the horrible diseases that are out there, it doesn't impact just one person. It impacts the whole family. And it's important to realize that. So you don't go through this alone. If you're fortunate, you go through it with the full complement of support around you that you're going to need to get through it, because it's not that easy to get through. When we were down for our orientation, our transplant orientation class, the first class we have to take, the young lady that gave the class had mentioned that how wonderful it was that I was there with Leslie and with our patient advocate, our dear friend Janice Frankel. She was saying that there were two people that she had in the previous class just the other day whose partners decided that it was too much and disappeared. Said, when we said for sickness and health and, good and bad, we thought that was just figurative. We didn't really believe it was literal. So we're not hanging out anymore. You're on your own. I'm going through the opposite of that, and it's really, on so many different levels, it's really hard to deal with. I don't know if you can see this. If I figure out where to put it, if you look at it, it says designated donor, and my name is on that. That basically means that somebody drove out here to the City of Hope in Duarte, which is not exactly the center of the universe. It is for me right now, believe me. It's the center of the universe for me, but it's not the center of the universe for most people. Waited in line and donated their own blood or their own platelets. And I'm at a point now where my numbers are low enough so that I'm going to start needing the transfusions that are going to demand those platelets and those liters of those pints of blood as we move through it. I got my first one last night in the middle of the night, which for some ungodly reason is when they like to start those. And when you're the recipient of that, there's something profound that occurs, and I can only hope that for those people who gave blood, they got the same kind of karmic deposit to their bank account that I got, knowing that they made the sacrifice necessary to come out here and do that. And I really believe that when this is all said and done, that's going to be a big part of my continuing life's work, is to try and give back that which I've been given, which is really profound. So I wanted to mention that. I couldn't not mention that again, and how important it is. We're going to try and save these tags, these donor tags. And when I celebrate my first birthday post-transplant, I'm told these will be part of the decorations, which I think would be great. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the outpouring of goodness and genuine care that I've been getting, and a part of it that's really disturbing to me. And if you know me at all, well, you know that I don't like to let things just hang in the out there in the universe, especially when people go to the time or the trouble to contact me, to wish me well or to tell me that they enjoy the blog or that they hope for my speedy and complete recovery. You know, what happens is that your day is really chopped up in the hospital, and there are things that have to be prioritized. I've walked 15 miles so far since I've been here on the ward, and that's not an easy thing to do, because I got to tell you something. You don't feel like walking when you're slammed with a disease like this that knocks your hemoglobin off the chart, and your white count goes to hell, and you've got no immune system, um, and people are waking you up all night to see if you're asleep, which makes no sense at all. But it's protocol in the hospital to make sure that everything's going the way it is, and you're getting your blood pressure taken multiple times during the day, because for whatever, and I'm not sure what the reason is, although I've asked, your blood pressure, because of the number of the drugs that you're receiving intravenously, just spikes. It goes way, way up. In my case, 30 points. So they give you another medication that reduces your blood pressure. And it's kind of this seesaw of going back and forth continually that you're dealing with. So half the day you're knocked out. You're so tired you can't move, but you still have to walk twice a day. And they give you a stretchy band kind of a thing to work out with as well. And you've got to really do those exercises, and you've got to work, you've got to walk, you've got to keep your body moving, and as much as you're capable of doing, the more you're capable of doing, the faster you get out of here. And it's not that I don't love the place or what it stands for. It's just I would really rather be home recovering, not spending 130 days, living remotely and what have you. So the thing that happens is you get emails that start to build up. And I just looked at it before I started the blog and realized that I had 360 emails. Now, obviously, all of that is not, golden wisdom that's being shared with you. A lot of it's just, junk that you've got to go through in order to get rid of. But it's 360 emails that are going to take a lot more time to get through than you have. That's how they got to these 360. So they went from 100 to 150 to 200 to 250 to all the way off the chart. So I really want those of you who see this blog and who have not yet received an answer to recognize that I'm going to try and get through that as much and as fast as I can. But, sometimes you just have other things that are placed in front of you that are more critical to be addressed at that particular moment. And it's not because I don't love you, because God knows I've gotten a lot more than I've given through this experience, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make it better from here on out, so I can give back as much as I've received. And on that happy note, we'll see what's going on tomorrow. Well, the one thing that's fascinating that I got to share with you real quickly is that I've always written backwards. I've always written from a headline. Journalistically, you don't do that, but I've always written from a headline that generated the seeds of the story. And I've not done that here. I mean, I've just started talking and try to keep it down to as close to 10 minutes as I can. So we're close to 10 minutes, which means that I'm checking out for the rest of the afternoon, go back and try and see if I can, and tick off some of those emails. Stay well and take care till we talk again. This is Mitch Schneider, over and out.